Fred grew up in the small town of Enfield, Connecticut, near Hartford on the Connecticut River. Enfield was incorporated in 1683, and by the mid-1800s, it was an active manufacturing town. These are some of the homes Fred passed on Enfield Street as he walked to school. Some of them were very old. In fact, this one was said to be a George Washington slept here home. Bet you guessed it, he didn't. However, one of Fred's friends had a hidden room behind his fireplace that served as a stop on the Underground Railroad. Hartley's Corner Grocery was one of Fred's favorite stops on his way home from school. It's still there today under a different name. We tried to get beer, but we arrived too late. Fred also fondly remembers Cran's Candy Castle, which is long gone. Here's the street Fred grew up on. We were so happy to see this. It's his childhood home, beautifully restored. In the 1800s, the Connecticut River attracted a lot of manufacturing operations to the Enfield area. The factories manufactured anything you can imagine, from glass coffins like this one, to tinsel, to tea bags, but the biggest one was the Bigelow Carpet Factory. Between 1829 and 1971, the factory produced miles of carpet and heavily polluted the Connecticut River. Kids couldn't get into the abandoned factories, but they did get into the river, and they caught heck when they got home because their parents could smell them. Today, many of the remaining buildings are being converted for business or residential use. Bet you didn't know that 40% of the gunpowder used in the Civil War came from Hazardville's Powder Hollow, part of Enfield. Here they turned charcoal, saltpeter, and sulfur into black powder. Hazardville and Hazard Powder were both named after an early owner, Colonel Augustus Hazard. At its peak, the factory spread over hundreds of acres and produced thousands of pounds of black powder a day. There had always been a lot of accidents. In fact, one of Colonel Hazard's sons was killed in an explosion. But despite safety precautions, in 1913, most of the plant blew up, and that was the end of Hazard Powder. Starting in the early 1800s, Enfield became the home of a large Shaker community. An offshoot of the Quakers, the Shakers actually shook in their pews when they communicated directly with God. Honest and industrious, the Shakers were known for beautifully made furniture. But they had one fatal flaw: they were abstinent. They couldn't convert enough people to keep the community going, and by 1917, the last one had died. Here's another fun fact. Enfield is known for growing some of the finest cigar wrappers in the world. This appeared to be the oldest tobacco farm we saw. As a kid, Fred made summer money by picking tobacco, one leaf at a time. He says that by the time he got home, he had so much nicotine on his jeans that they could stand on their own. Here's how the tobacco is dried in these barns with slatted sides that open for airflow. The barns are also a handy spot for a high school prank, painting your name on the side. Tobacco isn't the only crop. Clearly, pumpkins thrive there as well. Before leaving the area, we went to Bart's, one of Fred's favorite childhood places, and had a hot dog down by the river.